Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna do a beginner bow hunting guide. We're gonna have a look at all of the bows in the game. We're gonna fire all of them. We're gonna look at the sights, the ammo, and best practices so that you can become a stealthy bow hunter. Let's head right into it. So we're gonna start in the store here, and we're gonna start with the non-DLC bows. So here we have the Razorback Light CB60. So this bow, you do not have to purchase the DLC. You can just simply unlock it and go ahead and start using your bow. We also have the CB70 here. This is an awesome compound bow. I use this bow all the time. We are going to take all these out. We are going to fire all of them. So this is the Cotter CB65, and this comes in the high-tech hunting pack. And if you are going to invest in any DLCs for bow hunting, I do highly recommend you start with that one because it comes with this beauty. This is the Bright Side Rangefinder bow sight, and this is going to make bow hunting for you so much easier. So this sight will fit on any compound bow. You are not just stuck with the CB65. You can put it on any one of them. Now what it does is it measures how far your target is away from you and zeroes in for it, so it takes all the guesswork out. So I do highly recommend using the Bright Side Rangefinder bow sight if you are a new bow hunter. And then we have the Alexander Longbow, and you're going to find this in the Silver Ridge Peaks DLC. That's your only way you can get your hands on this beauty. Now these bows don't have sights, so they are a lot harder to use. And then we have the crossbow. Now the crossbow is the only bow that allows you to shoot while prone without the skill. And you'll find the crossbow in Weapon Pack 1. And also found in Weapon Pack 1 is the recurve bow, and this is a very tough bow, probably the hardest bow to use in the game. You do need to practice this one quite a bit. We are going to take it out and we are going to take it for a spin. Then we have the single pin bow sight. So if you're not going to go the DLC route, these are the sights that you'll have available for you. Then we have the 3-pin sight, and there also is a 5-pin sight. Now with any of these, you need to take them to the firing range and practice first before you go out and try shooting animals. And then the crossbow does have its very own adjustable sight. So we're going to start off by talking about our archery skills. So the first one we have here is called Full Draw. Increases the time an arrow can be drawn in aim mode before fatigue sets in. Fatigue will cause aim wobble, followed by a disruption of aim mode. Each level unlocks increases the effect. So basically, the more points you have in here, the longer you're going to be able to be in aim mode with your bow. Now the reason I only have one in here is I get by fine with just 1 point. I don't seem to have an issue. So then the next one is called Move and Shoot. You definitely want one in there. And this one reads, decreased wobble while moving in aim mode using any weapon. So that affects all of them. Then the next one we have here is increased confidence, and I have 1 out of 2 in here, and that increases the accuracy of all bows when shooting from the hip. Now I don't care about that. The only reason I selected that is so I could get to this one, which is very important to me, like a pro. Unlocks the ability to enter aim mode with a bow while prone. And that one I love. I have to have that one. And that leaves us with the last two, which is Pumping Iron. Increased arm strength means more draw length, increases the kinetic energy of all bows, which in turn means more damage, penetration, and speed. So that sounds like a pretty amazing skill point to have. I don't have one in here, I just don't have enough. And the other one is Recycle, and that just gives you the ability to retrieve your arrows and bolts. And I don't really care too much about that. I don't have the points for that one either. So those are my archery skills. Now I did set them up like that before I decided to do a whole lot of bow hunting. If you are going to do a lot of bow hunting, you might want to beef those up. Okay, so we're going to start out at the Parque Fernando shooting range, and this is where you're going to find it. So you're going to want to spawn in at the Casita de Merida outpost, and then you just want to run southwest, and it's literally right there, less than 100 meters from the outpost, and you will find it. So I just put a waypoint here. That is where you'll find the firing range. So we're going to start out here with the CB70 compound bow with 420 grain arrows. Now watch where I aim. So I am using the rangefinder bow sight. So what you do is you hold it up, measure with the red dot, and your green dot is where you are aiming. So pay attention to where I am hitting the target in the top right-hand corner. So if you'll notice, I'm aiming to the left, and that is because of the wind. So that's where that hit. So that's not perfect, but that definitely would be a vital. So pay close attention to your wind. Your wind is always going to affect your shot. Now, the further away your target is, the more the wind is going to carry your arrow. So this is the 3-pin sight. So if you're not going the DLC route, this is what you're going to use. There's definitely a lot more to take into account when you're using any of the pin sights. So the first thing you want to do is measure how far away your target is from you. Now I know that this target is only 50 meters away, so we're good there. That is very important, and you want to be as precise as you can be. Then you want to set your zeroing. So we're going to look at that shot one more time. So pay attention to the wind here. We do have a crosswind. So this is exactly where I am aiming, to the left and slightly low, and that is a perfect bullseye. All right, so we are going to now use the crossbow, and we have loaded in 420 grain bolts. Now, the crossbow is the only bow that has an adjustable sight, which is really nice. You can zoom in and see a little better, well, quite a lot better, by using the sight. Also, with the crossbow, you are able to lay prone and take a shot without having the like a prone skill, so that is very cool. And as you can see, I've been doing quite a lot of practicing here at the range today. But you know what? That is how you get better. So I highly recommend that you guys do the same thing. Come on out here and practice, 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 and then get out there and do it in the game. I was gonna say in real life, but in the game, because it is different when you're actually stocking up on a real animal. So watch here. So I actually took a shot right on the target at 100 meters, and you'll see that the arrow didn't even hit the board. So now, there we go. Look at that, almost a bullseye. So you know what I'm aiming? I'm aiming at the bottom red dot, and I am moving a little to the left to compensate for the wind, and that's getting me a pretty awesome shot. So each dot, as you go down in the scope, moves you further back by 50 meters. So now we're using the recurve. Now this is a very tough bow to use. It does not have a scope, so you really need to know where to keep your eyes, where to aim. So what I do is I keep my eyes focused right on the tip of the shaft of the arrow. That is where I look. Now I am compensating for the wind and the zeroing. So we're zeroed for 20. Pretty good, not too bad. Now I don't have a huge amount of experience with the recurve bow. I am just trying to train myself on how to become a pro at this thing now, but it is not easy, let me tell you. So this target is 35 meters. And that was a decent shot, wasn't a bullseye, but definitely would be a vital, so I am aiming right down where the brown ends, basically. And that was a perfect bullseye. So definitely just come on down to the range and just keep on practicing until you are good and confident, and then head out and try these bows out. So perfect bullseye at 35 meters. I think it's time to head out and do some actual hunting in the game. All right, so we're out here in Silver Ridge Peaks, and I spotted a mythical brown bear, which is a pretty nice bear, pretty big guy. So I have marked him with the waypoint. I have come around the lake so that I have a good wind, and now I am stocking up on him. Now, what's gonna often happen is as you get closer to your target, often you will lose sight of them. Now, not a fan of this. I hate going in blind because I really focus on paying attention to the animal and its mood to see if it knows how aware it is that I am there. So I'm looking for my bear, can't see him. So you want to stay nice and quiet. So usually I will run right up to about 190 meters, then I'll walk to about 130 maybe, and then I will start to creep in. Now, if I can see the animal, I am paying close attention, and I will go prone the minute that he stops being calm. So he knows that we're here. All right, so we're gonna use the crossbow here. So I am zeroed for 50. So with the crossbow, you have 3 zeroing options. You have 10, 30, and 50 meters. So that's the maximum that you can zero for. Now I do have my collar on me. Now one thing that bow hunting does take is a lot of patience. A lot of patience. And quite honestly, you're better off to let your animal spook than to take a hasty shot. So take your time. If it spooks, it will come back to its zone. Just take your time. Now, when you're stalking up to your animal, it is always smart to see if you can find somewhere that you can take cover. Now, if you're using the crossbow, you can lay prone, and if you're using any other bow, you can lay prone when you have the Like a Pro skill, but otherwise you need to find some cover. All right, so we took the shot there. Now, I haven't been using the crossbow a whole lot because I don't fully trust it. And that's just me being honest with you right now. I find that often it works amazing, but sometimes it just fires out a wonky shot and it's just not consistent. So hopefully that gets sorted very, very soon, but let's have a look at this shot here. Now that was a right lung and thoracic vertebrae shot. Had I been a little higher, I would have missed altogether. Now the reason that arrow hit high is because I was zeroed for 50, but this bear was 38 meters away, which caused the shot to be a little bit higher. So you need to adjust your shot according to your zeroing. You want those to correlate as closely as possible, but we actually have a pretty nice level 4 muley coming in here. So I have taken cover in this tree, which is perfect, and it's always nice when there is a caller available for you to use for any animal you want to take down with the bow. Now, if you are going to call them in, get ready fast because they can come in very quickly. So I'm going to use the recurve bow. And so I wanted to just quickly mention that the long bow aims exactly the same way that the recurve does. So if you've mastered one, you've mastered the other, and they use the same arrows. So they are pretty much interchangeable. So there he is. He's pretty nice. He's not too bad at all. He goes up to 236 and he is coming in fast. Now I have an awesome wind here. Pretty much a non-issue. So always take into account your wind. So if you have an animal that you have spotted in the distance and you have an awful wind, what you can do is mark them and then run all the way around the lake and come in from the opposite side, and that will give you a perfect wind. So if you have a bad wind, create a better one if you can. So we're using the bleat collar here. And if you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, I have the best cover possible. I am completely hidden, which is perfect. So we're in really good position here. So I want to get them in as close as possible. So pay close attention to their mood. So here he comes. You need to know very precisely how far your animal is away from you so that you can aim properly. So just take a quick reading. He is calm, so I don't need to hurry too much, but anytime they get in this close, it's time to get ready. Let's go. Because they can spook at any time now. Now, the higher level the animal, the higher their artificial intelligence, and that will cause them to spook sooner. There we go. Yes, he is down. So that was a very, very close shot, but that looks pretty sweet. And that was a double lung shot. 16.17 meters, 540 green arrows with the recurve bow. So let's look at that once more. So what I do is I focus my eyes where the brown ends on the shaft of the arrow. And that makes for one very dead muley. So here we are out in Savannah, and there are just a whole pile of wildebeest here. And luckily, this was, I don't know, about a month ago, I did find a pretty nice one in there. There is a level 5. So what I did was we snuck in and we did take them with the bow. Now what I'm doing right now, I am trying to harvest every diamond in the game with the bow, which is a pretty insane task, but you know what? We're pretty well on our way. I think we have close to 15 diamonds now with the bow, which is a pretty awesome start. So there he is. He is just in behind there. Can't get a spot on him right there, but he is there. So the first thing I did was spot him and mark him with the waypoint. So I want to keep eyes on him as long as I possibly can. Now being out here on the beach is perfect because I'm not going to lose sight of him. He's big. He's a pretty nice one. So I'm going to slowly creep in, get as close as I can to these guys. And I don't know, with all these wildebeest around, there's just so many of them, this could be a very tough thing, but you can call and get them up to their feet, but oftentimes it's better if they're in a good position for you to go to them. Because once they start walking, then they're in motion. That makes it tougher. So actually, he's getting up. Yes! All right, so I am going to measure the distance, take my shot as fast as I possibly can, and we got him. So here we go again. Perfect. And then it's nice, you can actually see where the arrow hits on the body before you pick them up to try and get an idea of where that arrow actually landed. And there we go. So that was a double lung shot from 43.55 meters, and that was the CV65. So once you practice, it's going to get easier and easier for you, and it is very satisfying to take down trophy animals with the bow. So I just wanted to show you guys one last thing. This is the firing range in Hirschfelden, but if you come here and it looks like this, all you have to do is head to the closest outpost and travel over there and unlock it, and you will be able to use it. It is about 700 meters away. Just go right up and claim it, and then you won't have an issue after that. So this is an awesome firing range. This one goes all the way from 50 meters all the way up to 500 meters. So definitely come here, practice with all the bows and any weapons. You know, it can never hurt to get lots of practice in. So basically at this firing range, you just come on up and press the button for whichever distance you'd like to shoot at and fire away. Now I did want to mention that you are never using your own ammunition at any of the shooting ranges. It is unlimited, so that is an awesome benefit. And I'd actually love to know if you guys have a favorite bow, what it is, and why. Please let me know in the comments, and that's gonna wrap it up for this one. If you guys did enjoy the video, I'm just gonna ask you to do one thing. Hit that like button, and we will see you guys in the next one. You guys take care.